Hey, Don here. Okay, back today with another live stream. I'm working on Mom's PC upgrades. Let me check the audio and everything over here on my preview. If you haven't seen the previous videos, well, I upgraded my mom's computer. It was an Athlon AMD dual core with 2 gig of RAM. And I had an ASRock motherboard. I won't go into all those details here right now, but that would another motherboard, not the one. It was a BioStar that was in her machine motherboard. Now the ASRock motherboard, it will do anything from a dual core to an 8 core, and it will do DDR2 and DDR3 memory, either or, not both at the same time. And anyway, so I went ahead and got. I did research, make sure it would work, and thought it would work and everything. And an AMD 8300 8 core and 8 gig of RAM. That's the max it'll use. 2 4 gig sticks. Put it all together, and it works just fine. I had just got through putting Fedora 27 Linux on it, and with the other setup, and it runs, but it doesn't have the right firmware and drivers and everything for this new setup, so I'm gonna reinstall. But I was just kind of booting it up in there, and I tried the old. It originally had Fedora 14 and Mate 9, and actually I booted it to Mate 9. I was using my little easy to boot SD card in the USB adapter, and something went wrong with some of the files, and it wouldn't boot to everything, but it booted to Super Grub disk, which I could, and all I could see there was a Mate. It couldn't see the Fedora 14 for some reason. So anyway, because it's not in the boot list, because that hard drive wasn't in there. I also got her a new hard drive. I forgot that a 2 terabyte hard drive is what I installed Fedora 27 on. And I'm not gonna leave that Fedora 14 hard drive, the 250 gigabyte, in there. I'm gonna use it for something else. But anyway, that Fedora 14 is a really good system, and so I didn't want to reformat it anyway, and she needed more space. So I don't know. I haven't backed it up yet and all that stuff. I don't know. I haven't figured out what I was going to do exactly now, because Fedora 14, it's not going to run good like it is. I mean, it was installed to a dual core system. It wouldn't run good on an 8 core if it'll run at all. I just wanted to see if it'd run. But anyway, all that to the main, what I got to figure out first now. There's only one problem so far, and that is that the Ethernet adapter is not working. And it was working just fine. That ASRock motherboard had a different dual core in it, AMD, and it had 2 gig of RAM in it, 2 separate 1 gig sticks, and in another box, and I called it the ASRock machine, and because that was the motherboard, and I like that motherboard. So anyway, there was no problems with the Ethernet then. And so the one thing I know, I've put this motherboard in, well, I put it in her machine when I first bought it, because I thought her motherboard was going bad, and it turned out to be the switch, the power switch. And so anyway, I didn't need it for her machine. So I put it back to like it was originally, and looking over there to help me remember things. Blank. Okay, so I'm kind of out of it today. Sorry. New switch, fixed that, and so the ASRock motherboard was being used, not every day, but from time to time in that other machine, and but I always had kind of planned. I always thought, whenever the time comes when I could use it to upgrade her machine. So that's what I did. And now Fedora 27. See, I put it on there, and it runs okay, but not good. It's just not. It's just uses more resources, than Fedora 14 by far. So So I decided to go ahead and upgrade it for, and so this machine will be good for her for quite a few more years, 5, maybe even 10 years. I don't know, probably 5 years, I guess. But I think we already got 4 or 5 years out of it so far. So that's pretty cool. Plus that dual core, it can be used for something else, like put Debane on it or something. I didn't want to put Debane on there for her. I thought about doing that, but one thing I love about Fedora, I like Debane, but it's a little harder to do. I mean, she can't do any of this, any of the software work or anything, but Debane doesn't have SE Linux, Security Linux, and Fedora does, and it's pretty complicated, so I just let it run, do what it wants to do, but it protects you from so much, so many things that can hit your machine on the internet or from other sources, whatever. But I like that very much, and I also like Fedora because that's what I learned on back starting in 2005, and I just understand that the operating system, the ecosystem of it. I wouldn't say the operating system because they're all Linux, but so. Ethernet adapter doesn't work, and when I was now the tricky thing is I got way sidetracked because when I went blank, I lost my whole memory there. When I plugged up all the little cables, this box has got well, they're labeled good, but the old BioStore motherboard is not labeled good. And there's only one thing that's not labeled good on one cable. It's not really a cable. It sort of. There's a little bitty old short cable about that long with a little bitty old, I don't know why I want to call it a piezo speaker, but it's just it's the system speaker. I guess that's what they usually call them. And of course, they used to have real speakers about that big around, about a 2 or 3 inch speaker. But now they've, or this one anyway. I don't know what they've got in all of it. I don't pay a lot of attention. A lot of times, usually they're hidden and you can't see them. But this one, little short cable, about 2 inches long, with a little, I guess I guess I'm thinking of what is it? Piezo tweeters. What is a piezo? I can't remember. It's not a mic. I think they're piezo tweeters is what they were. So anyway, it makes a horrible sound, but it just gives you a beep, And anyway, it plugs onto the motherboard, and the motherboard is labeled really well. This ASRock is. So I was able to figure out the wiring by, looking at the labeling on the wires and the labeling on the. Of course, it's all tiny and small, and I don't see good anymore. So I used my magnifying glass and my endoscope close-up cam to see everything. And but that speaker's little connector is not labeled with a plus or minus. And on speakers, it usually. Most of the time, it doesn't matter. There's not a real positive and negative side. It just matters that if you have more than if you have more than one speaker, it matters that they're in the same polarity. They need to be. Usually they're marked. Well, they're usually like black and white or red and red and black, or white with a black stripe, and something like that. Anyway, if you have them. The same, you're good. If you have them the opposite, then they'll have what's called phase canceling, and they will not. And you'll notice it because you'll lose a lot of volume, and it will sound kind of weird or funky. And especially if you have more than 2 speakers, like if you have 4 on your stereo system, you'll really notice it if you've got 1 or 2 of them out of phase. I used to do sound for bands, and that was the first thing you want. You could look for especially if you got people helping you set things up. And they don't know which way to plug things in. So I'm thinking that perhaps I think one of the times I had this motherboard hooked up, one of the times when I put it in a box, I don't think I've only done it, I guess, twice. It'll be the 3rd time now that I've wired it up. I think this happened before. I think it was a wiring issue now, and that's the one I do know that's not labeled. So unless like I said, I can't see good, I could have just got one wrong. A lot of them are little separate connectors, and it's really hard to see that you're getting them right. So I'm just going to go back through the wiring. First, I'm going to do the speaker. I'll just look through all of them and see if I can see that they seem okay. Because this motherboard is actually labeled, positive, negative, and everything. But they're not, there's not enough space. I'm describing all this instead of showing it. So let me get over there. I get off on a sidetrack sometimes. I mean, it's good to kind of explain what you're going to do, but you talk about it for 30 minutes, kind of crazy. Okay, let me get over there on the machine, and I'm going to set up. I'll get the door off. Okay, let me switch mics so I can get up. All right, that's both a minute. Okay, now it should be just on the wireless. Now let me make sure that everything's working like it should before I get up and go off to work for a long time. I won't be seeing my preview. So while I'm still sitting here where I can see it, let me look. Make sure the audio and video is what I think I'm showing. Now I'm going to get my endoscope set up over there, get the door off, get the endoscope set up, and then I'll be able to show it and look at it. So if I really need to, I can use the endoscope to help me see things, but only if I move my table over here in front of my computer. And I don't like to do that unless I really need to, because then I can't get to my keyboard or anything. So I'm going to try to just leave it over here in my normal work spot and do it that way. Move my preview laptop out of my way. Oh, I wish that magnet was better on this big screwdriver. It doesn't hold the screws, they always fall. And I don't catch them as good as I used to. Okay, but I like this screwdriver. Now, get the old door off. I wonder how many times I've had this off lately. It doesn't stand up good. Okay, now. Oh yeah, and I also want to. I still need to make sure, but if I remember right, this fan is blowing out, and I think I want it to blow in, because this blows down, that blows out, and this goes out. So I think maybe pulling in extra fresh air might be better. I had thought that I'm putting that door somewhere out of the way. I had thought that the other one in the other system, I thought it blew this way, but and that's why I had it going. I remember when it was new, I'd turned that fan over because I thought that was the best way for it to be. Because I didn't want trying to blow air in fighting this really powerful CPU fan, but the other one blows real hard. Actually, not as hard as some of the older ones, but anyway, I think I figured out the other day that it blows towards the fans instead of away from them. And this one does. It goes down. I'll have to double check that too. Anyway, let's get up in here and think about how I want to do this. Let's see. There we go. I think maybe I can. Ow. Got one of those, not a hangnail, but where this, you know how the skin always gets dry and sticks up in the air and gets hung on everything. On your cuticle, I guess you'd say. Alright, now let me get this wire kind of in the general area that I want it in, and then, yeah, there we go. Now I'll have to just move that around, that endoscope camera. Oh! Had my chair in a different spot than I usually have it. I went to try to sit down on it, and I wasn't going to hit it all the way. Endoscope and cam, that's what I like to do when I'm going to do that. All right, there we go. Now, do I want some light? Yes, I think I do. Not too much, though. There. Okay. Drink water. Okay, now you can see some of them labels. P-LED, H-LED, power LED, hard drive LED, reset, that all works. Power button, that works. And that's panel, that's the front panel. Now, let's see. Now, where's my speaker? Well, let's just go straight for the speaker right now. Let me pull these. I've got a cable down there just to have it out of the way. Ooh. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, now, here's the one. Oh, that wasn't the one in question. Let's see now. There's some of them. if I can make this. The hard drive cable is what I moved. I can't read it without walking back over here. I guess I should have moved the table over this way, like I was thinking. But okay, HD LED, and see there's plus. Plus is okay. Plus is the one that we can see, and then minus is the one behind it, and that's how it's laid out. And so I believe I have those right. Yeah, it's left and right, not, you know, not left and right like the way you're looking at it, but okay, the one closest to the edge is power positive, and the one in the next row in is negative. That's how that's laid out. Now that's those, and that's still not. Let's see. I don't know if any of this is going to let me. Yeah, that's that speaker I was talking about. That's the back side of it. I may have to unplug some of this stuff. And there it is. Now what I'm hoping is that all I got to do is swap that speaker wire right there. Because see, it's got a red and a black wire, but there's no label. Let me see, can I get that raised up? Let me see. It's just the word panel there. I can't see the screen. Maybe if I go ahead and go to just the endoscope, I'll be able to read it from over there. I kept debating about whether I needed to put if I put my table over there in front of the computer, I can do that. I may have to, because this is how I had it when I put it together, and I couldn't. Okay, panel. Yeah, see, there's no label there for that. Okay. And then what's on the back side? Speaker. Yeah, it just says speaker, and there's no positive, negative, or anything. So I'm going to take it and swap it. There's 4 pins, but there's only 2 being used. Yeah, see, no polarity or positive, negative marks on there. Okay, now did I get it right? I can't really see it without, if I could look at the screen, like I said, if I could look at the screen, then yeah, but I can't not do it. Okay, so now the other ones I would suspect are those, and I had that to where I could see. I know the reset button works. I know the power button works. I've used that a lot. Let's see what's on the other side. Now my tripod's fighting me. Let's see what's on the other side over there. Sorry. Uh-oh, what's that? I see something that could be wrong. But the speaker, I tried to make it beep and it didn't beep, so that was why I thought maybe that was it. Okay. Power LED plus. Power LED minus. Oh. Okay. I'm going to move the... Oh, I forgot. I should have switched. Sorry. I'm going to move my setup over here so that I can see the screen while I'm doing it. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to set up that. I don't know. I guess I'll figure it out as I go. I don't know how I'm actually going to set up my tripod. Oh, maybe that'll work. Okay. Let's see. Let's get the tripod. Bring it over here for the close-up camera. I don't know if I want to put it. Oh, there we go. That'd probably be the best thing. Because if I try to put it down in there, yeah, let's put it up here, and then I'll just pull that cable around as I go. I can move my laptop around wherever I need to. There we go, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, now, get this down in that direction. There we go. All right, now I think maybe I can look at it. Whoops. Okay, now, are we doing good? Let's reload our preview over there. Yeah, I think that's going to end up working for me and the video. We'll see. I had real bad allergies today too. Okay, so now I think I may have seen my real problem. I think I couldn't see good. I don't think the speaker would have made any difference, just like I thought all along, except for it wasn't beeping. I still don't know about that, but see there, I swapped it. But let's see. Yeah, that's, oh. I didn't want to take off things I didn't need to, but that thing is fighting me. So I'll take that power cable off of that. Sorry. Got more problems than I thought I was going to have. This cable is really stiff. That's snake skin wiring for the cables are neat, look good, but they're really stiff and they fight you. Okay, now when I was over here, I think I got too much light on. There. The thing is that little LED ring of light, when it's not shining directly on your thing, see if that's any better, it causes too much reflection at one point, and then at the other point it's, try it this way. Yeah, see, it gets too dark. Maybe that will work. Okay, so, yeah. Guess I don't have it close enough or what? There we go. Where'd I go? Oh, okay. Power LED plus. Oh, I couldn't see that a minute ago. Okay, power LED plus, HLED plus. Okay. Well, that stuff works is the thing, so. And of course, well, the hard drive lights, I haven't paid any attention to them, so I don't know. HLED plus. Okay, there we go. And then, oh, I see. The pluses are marked, the minuses aren't. Okay, and then, then the next row in, power LED plus, that would be on this side. Power LED plus, power LED minus, okay. Power LED, okay, so that's good.
Now then, power button. Next set. That says reset. Oh, resets on the outside. Okay, resets on the outside. That's good. Plus, and then minus. Okay, and that stuff works, so I wouldn't really expect it to. I'd be shocked if now that one's put in there different. But to look at the, see the blue? That tells me it's correct. Oh, and then we got one pin that's not being used. Okay. Why is there one pin that's not being used? Yeah, this is a bunch of paired and single. One of them's a single. Where is that single? I remember that there's a single. Reset plus. And there's one pin that don't have anything on it. You know what? You don't think you're supposed to leave one in the middle out. The way those words are on there, I think you're supposed to skip over to that one. But the reset works. I've been using it. I guess that doesn't 100% mean it. Okay, the one that I can't see, I don't think it's wrong, but the one that I can't see, one with the blue, that one there, I want to take it off so I can read it. Okay. It just says power switch, and that's been working. Oh, can I get it on there now? I know. Well, every time my thumb is hitting the camera, I can't even do it. The camera would help me if, I think, it's just too, it's, there. Trying to look at the screen and do things is like trimming your hair in the mirror. I do that all the time. I do that. You have some of those shears, and I'll shear the sides and the back underneath. I have a three-way folding mirror, but it's really tricky. Okay, but there is one thing that hit me just now. And maybe this is, I don't see how the, those words, see how the words are way on down there, that plus is on down. And you know, if I go by location, I don't see, power button, okay. If I go by location of the words, which might be the thing to do, then that one needs to go down to the next set of pins. So I think I will try one step at a time, though. I've got my speaker reversed, and now I don't think that's going to help. I think that's it. I could go the other way. I think I'll put my speaker back like, well, I didn't want to make two changes, you know, at a time. I could put my speaker back like it was. That's the end of that speaker, what I was talking about. I think it is piezo tweeter. Yeah, piezo tweeter. I think that's what that is, a piezo or piezo tweeter. Okay, so, yeah, I could turn it around the other way. I was going by the way they had the plus and the minus on the other pins, is thinking, okay, they're probably the same. If there was one. Like I said, on the speaker, I don't think it really matters. But, okay, I think I've discovered what the real problem is. I don't think it's that. Did I get that on there right? Let's see. I believe so. Yeah. I think it's this one here. I remember, it seems familiar that there was some funky little unexpected thing in this thing, and I think that might be it. If I could get that. Now I'm fighting the I didn't move it. That doesn't, you know, doesn't, you wouldn't spec that, but I think maybe that's how it goes. My wire's fighting me and I can't. There. But something like that I can see reset. Well, we'll find out. I know the reset button's been working though, so. But that doesn't mean it couldn't work. That's the kind of thing that I would say, okay, yeah, that could maybe, you know, make something else not work, actually be a short, you know. Luckily, it all still works, and that's the fan, the main, that's the the back fan, and also it has a jumper where you plug in the door fan. Okay, so I'll have to roll this. Well, I guess it doesn't hurt. I got to roll this back out of the way so I can get to the keyboard to boot it up. But well, and to plug it up. I can't even plug it up. Now I need to plug this hard drive cable back in. So, oh, I accidentally. My gosh, how did I do that without knowing it? I unplugged that SATA cable during all this by accident. I don't like to do that sort of thing. Okay, but this. Let's see. There's the power cable. Let's see, where's that little L in it? I don't know why I can't see it. There it is. Now where's the L on the hard drive? There, okay. Okay, got that. Now this, the data cable, I didn't know they had 4 pins in there. Never been able to see them to tell that. There's 4 pins in there. So that means there's a whole lot more holes in that end, but I think it's going to just go. Can't see. Oh, that's a different cable, different spot. That's one. There's where it goes, right there. Goes right next to the. There. I don't know what that one's for, actually. Now those. Oh, you don't want that. Now that's why that was in a weird spot, because the fan, it just wants to go right into the fan, and I think I had put it up down under the. I think I'd put it down under the. Let me just quit. I'm going to get off of this. I'll fix it after I put it over there under the other camera, because it's just going to make for a seriously bad video. Okay, let me move everything back. It's a pain, but I don't know of any other way to do this. But to just keep moving stuff is where I have to have it, as I have to have it. Because now I can't plug the computer in it without having it back over there. But I'll tell you what, that endoscope really does help me, even though it's a bit hard to adjust to, you know, using it. It's really, I can see more details with that than I can with just a magnifying glass. So I like it. I've used magnifying glasses for years now, for everything. Let's put that other, get on the other camera now. There we go. Okay, and guess I'll put my endoscope back over here like I had it a minute ago, in case I want to use it. Oh yeah, put it like that for now. So Yeah, there needs to be a plate. Oh, I see. You know what? If I just leave it out there, I guess I didn't want it out in the sticking out like that, but there's really no reason to force it up under that, especially since I may have to get to those again. All right. It's too wiry. It won't stay back up in there. Well, let's see. It might stay like that. There. That's better. It's not. It's being held by the the rack for the hard drives, not by the wiring or anything. So that'll be all right. Make sure everything's in there tight. Okay. Now, no things that can get in the way of anything. Now, get another drink of water. Okay. I always have to check my cables. My VGA cable is just about had it. And I've got one pin that's just hanging in the breeze. So I had to make sure it's not crooked. It is so easy to, they'll bend and you don't know it, and you'll just plug them in, and then you do it just once or twice and then they're about broke. I've got another, well actually the other one, it doesn't have broken pins, it's got a bad, cable's been broken inside, they do that, cables do that a lot. And it's funny because that hasn't been flexed a lot. Well, maybe it had, because it's the one I used to use like this, plugging it into every different thing. But I try to be easy with them. I don't put them in a bind or anything very often, I guess. I guess you always do that kind of stuff sometimes. Well, like when the computers were in my racks, I'll push them back up. Sometimes I don't realize it, and they're touching the wall, and they are kind of in a bind. Trying to get them not sticking out too far in the front and getting hit. I got one, my Blue F5C, I call it. First International Computer. It was my first kit computer ever built. If you bump the front cover, it will turn it on or off, whatever case it may be. So I haven't tried the front sound output. I did the back. Actually, I never played any sound to find out. Let me try the front. Oh, it won't reach right now. Well, I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. I had it plugged in yesterday, and I never did remember to try and check it. So, let me make sure that I'm plugging it in right. Yeah. Okay, so now I've got the everything I need to turn it on. I don't have a camera that I can aim at the monitor. Let's see. All I really want to see right now is if the Ethernet light turns green instead of yellow. You can tell that. So let's do that first, and then we'll go from there. Let's see. Because I'd have to do a lot of moving in order to show you that. I actually could go get, I set up my mom's 10-inch tablet to be able to use it for that, but it's not in here. I'd have to get everything out and set it up. So right this minute I won't do that. That table sure is crooked, or something's crooked. There, it just looks better. Okay. Before I even hit that, I'll hit the reload again, make sure my stream is working. Uh-oh, I've moved things around so much. I got the Ethernet cable on that laptop. I don't think I ever did fix up the wireless. And it's running on an Ethernet cable for the internet. And the clip's broke on that one. So if you move it a little bit, it'll come out a little bit and not work. So anyway, I fixed that. Okay, it's on. Now I'll have to get over there and look at that light. First I wanted to make sure my stream is... Yeah. Okay, now let's go over and look at it. Oh, I forgot to switch the... Well, it'll still work. I don't have the right video resolution, but it's green. Yeah, cool. I bet it'll work. Yeah. Yay. Okay. It's gonna boot into that checking the. I need to reboot it anyway. The Okay, let's just I can do remote desktop now, I think, so I won't have to run and get a camera. Just get it booted up. I'm using the Fedora 27 Live USB that I have, the one I installed from the last time. But I'll show in a minute what. Uh-oh. Well, that's weird. The guy says, I don't remember ever seeing this before. I don't know what it is. It says, uncompression error, system halted. Huh. Probably, it might, I don't know. It might have something to do with, I'm going to go ahead and take it out and try booting to the onboard operating system. I don't know why there would be any problem with that. I did Control Alt Delete to restart it. Usually doesn't cause anything like that, but we'll see. Sometimes if you have trouble with your USB, you can just take it out, put it back, you know, reset the system, put it back in, and then everything will be fine again. But I figure the Ethernet will probably work now on Mom's. The one that's, even though it wasn't installed on this motherboard and processor, I think it might work. Everything else worked. Because I think, let's see if I can see the terminal output while it's booting up and see if it says network. It's going about too fast, so I don't think I'll be able to read it unless it hangs up and doesn't work. But yeah, I already have, I think I have TeamViewer on here or something. I should be able to do remote desktop. That's a weird little thing. You really just have to pay close attention to that, what it says on there. On that board, it does tell you how to wire it, but it's when they put, you know, usually when things are written on a motherboard, they write them where they have space to write them, not as a graph, you know, diagram. Well, let's see. It's trying to connect. It ain't connected yet. I don't know. Maybe it ain't gonna work. Of course, still, this system, it probably had a different. Oh, now it's yellow. Well, now that, I might have see, originally I suspected that the driver was wrong for this Ethernet chip that's on this motherboard, different motherboard. And that still may be the case. I don't believe it's going to work. So, guess I should have went to the trouble to get the camera. I'm just making a video of nothing there. Okay, so that's not going to connect. So I'm going to shut down, put my USB stick back in there. Oh, let's see if the reset button works. It usually doesn't shut down right anyway, so yeah, it's doing the same thing it usually does. So I'm going to put my USB stick in there. Well, I've been putting it in the front and it was working, so it shouldn't matter though. Let's put it in there again just like I did, because it should work. Alright, now. Uh-oh. Reset button doesn't work. So my little idea was wrong. I had it right to start with. Okay. Huh. So let's see. Oh, the power button doesn't seem to work either. Oh, there it went. Okay, so let's go back and fix it back like it belongs. Let me make sure. I'm getting confused. So many different things going on. Go ahead and switch to the other. I think I will turn on the endoscope while I'm doing this. I've got it setting over there. Okay, I just want to make sure everything was working, and then I know what I got going on here. Now, yeah, you can see that area. I don't see the exact cables that I was doing, but I see the area. There we go. Yes. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it where it is, I think. I guess I'll have to use my magnifying glass, and I'll leave that as the view of what I'm doing, but I'm going to, yeah, I can see it well enough to do it, so I didn't, that stuff wasn't wrong. That was all good. I don't remember the ones that set by themselves. Yeah, there we go. So power LED plus. Okay, plus. So yeah, my power LED seems to be fine. Hard drive LED seems to be fine. Power button. Well, I guess I'll swap that speaker. You know, it could be that I have that one power button. No, it works. And the LEDs, I think I have them right. White is usually ground, and all the other various colors is usually positive. One thing that I don't have that I'm not sure about is this again. So let's put it back like this. The wire has been bent that other way for so long it wants to go that way. It doesn't really matter. Okay. As long as it's not in the way of anything, getting hung up on anything. That fan works. Everything works with the fan. That down there. Audio. HD audio. I don't think you can put it on wrong. I'll show you what I'm talking about here with the... Oops. That one aren't there. Where is it? Right there, HD audio. I really can't remember. It's a little too close, I think. Okay. Yeah, I don't think you can put it wrong. I think it's pinned so that it can't be done wrong. Yeah, it is. I mean, it could be that something about the processor and or memory is causing that Ethernet to not work, but I don't see why it would. I mean, maybe so. I can't figure out where I was trying to aim it. There it is. Okay, I'm going to try booting it up again with the let's go back to this area again. I'll just try it like that again. Ethernet is still yellow. Still yellow. Huh. Usually it turns green when everything's good. And I have another cable going to another router. I tried that yesterday. And, you know, same problem. So I don't believe it's a cable or router issue. I'm just going to turn it on again. If I'm going to have to keep, I may even need the other camera to show my monitor with, but oh, you got to get on the right spot on the KVM switch. For just a little bit, I mean, it's not, it's just not that big of a deal, I don't think, but for a long time there, I don't want to not show you what I'm doing, you know. There. Okay, let's see. Boot up to the live system. It worked yesterday. Looks like it's going to be normal this time. It is weird. There's a lot of I/O errors on that USB stick, but then it still goes ahead and boots. Usually there's not a whole bunch like that. I'm not quite sure what that, I mean, when it works, you don't worry about it, you know. Okay, it worked. It booted up just fine. I think it just somehow got out of whack. Ethernet's not hooking up right away, and there's this site now. For some reason, you get a crash. VM on the it went away too quick, but BLMZ, I think it is. It went away so fast. But anyway, I don't know if it said, this one said kernel error or not, but it has been saying kernel error. And if you got a kernel error, very, you know, could be part of that problem. Could be something that's making the that the Ethernet's not working right. So I guess I could look in the crash log, but I can't. You know what? I'm gonna dig out my one of my. I guess I'll leave it running for a minute. Let me think. If I put an Ethernet card in it, then I should be able to have Ethernet, and then I can show my work, you know. Let's see. So, but I don't think there's any sense. It's just doing the same thing. So I'm going to shut it down. Let's see if it'll shut down on its own instead of me always forcing it to shut down. I just didn't want to wait. It takes forever, and it seems like it's, you know, not doing it right. So I just been hitting the hard shutdown button just because I didn't want to wait. But yeah, I could look in the crash logs. That'd be the best thing to do, I think. But I'm going to dig out I should have an Ethernet card. Well, I think there's one right on top. Let's see. I guess that's as good as any. This is old enough to have a floppy with it, but let's see what it is. It was brand new, and I think Jeff gave it to me. He had it left over from something. I've used it before, and then I didn't want to use it anymore, so I put it back. It's a Kingston, same as the memory I bought for this thing. How about that? Well, let's get it out. Don't really need to show the... don't forget to shut that down before you plug something into it. Okay. It's got a little book with it. It's got 2 floppies. Of course, this is Linux, so you don't need any of those Windows drivers, but see what one of them, what's they say? Windows 95, 98, NT, Novell drivers. And Macintosh. There we go. Cool. That'll work with a lot of different kind of systems. But I've used it before. I'm pretty sure I've used it in Linux. I've got some Realtek cards, or I have some. I don't know if I got any more down in here that aren't being used, but can't remember. let's see. The next one's not a network card, or is it? The next one is, oh, it is, but it says something. Realtek NIC. Oh, okay. Wonder if I should use that or not. Works on the IBM. It's got notes in here about it. Some of them actually started acting up. It's an 8139C. That's one of the ones that was really common. Now they're getting a little old, I guess. It works in IBM Think Center. I know Realtek is real common and they'll get recognized real easy. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should use that. What's this one? Now that's a VGA card, but it's probably like 8 megabytes or something. Oh, need to find drivers. I'm pretty sure it's. Well, that's not what I'm trying to do here. Okay. Yeah, well, that Realtek card. I think I'll put the Realtek in there because I know they work. I know that Linux finds those for sure. I imagine it would find this Kingston as well, but I don't. But I believe it's a little older than the Realtek there. I don't remember how to get that in there. Oh, okay. Well, I think the paper should be like that. Yeah. There we go. Okay, I guess I'll put my tray back up in there before I step in it. Okay, yeah, that didn't shut down. That's the other weird thing it does. It gets to the ready to shut down and it just sits there for longer than I want to wait. So I guess I still have the still have the view. I'll go ahead and reload my preview, then I'll know it's delayed, but at least I can get an idea of where I'm aiming. I try not to fiddle around forever with my setup. Sometimes I do that a lot. With my video setup, I mean. Yeah, there we go. It's pretty far behind though. I can see I'm looking at the... Oh man, I'll have to knock out one of those knockouts. Oh well, it's all right. I can do that. I didn't really want to, but I guess I'll do the bottom one. That one right there. Yeah.
What's wrong with the internet?
Is it down? Oh crap. Is it okay? You're using Wi-Fi? That's all you use, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I'm making a video. I'll shut my video down and then restart the routers and everything.
You know what?
Huh?
Is it down?
Sometimes it does. That's why I'm always rebooting when I get done to make sure that don't happen. And everything seemed fine. I did it when I got up today. I rebooted stuff. I thought I did. Anyway, it's bound to be too much on the Wi-Fi. Okay, I don't know if you're seeing this or not. I mean, I think you are. But the Wi-Fi is not working for the rest of the people, the rest of the house. So. Okay, I don't know if you're seeing this or not. Yeah, you are seeing it. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this video, reboot everything, and start a new video. I don't know what's going on, but the best thing to do is just reboot my routers and my modem and everything. All right, I'll come back in a little while.